Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Now in today's short video, I thought it would be fun to create a 2024 presidential election map based solely on the latest poll conducted in every state that was decided by a single-digit margin in 2020. Now, unlike most of my videos on this channel, I'm not going to be spending time delving into the reputability, historical bias, or any details whatsoever about the pollster. The only consideration is that it is the most recent poll conducted in that state. I won't provide any explanations either, as I aim for this to be a different and a little more lighthearted than my usual content. I will, however, only be looking at the most recent poll assessing the two-way race between Biden and Trump, and disregarding polls including third parties for now. That's simply because there are still far too many unknowns regarding the potential impact of candidacies like RFK Jr.'s and the others at this point in time, and I want to keep this data that we're polling from at least somewhat consistent across every state. I should also note that while Nebraska's 2nd congressional district only went to Biden by 6.5 points in 2020, we don't yet have a poll for 2024, so it will remain in the lean Democrat column based on that margin. Starting in Nevada, the latest poll is from Emerson College, surveying 1,294 registered voters between January 5th and 8th, and it has Trump leading Biden by 2 points, with 47% to the incumbent Democrats' 45%. That means that Nevada will be rated as tilt Republican on this electoral map. Tilt states denote margins between 0 to 2%, lean between 2 to 7%, likely between 7 to 12%, and safe above 12%. Just to the southeast of Nevada is Arizona. The last poll surveying the state of the race in the Grand Canyon state has Trump in front by 10% from the Bullfinch group between December 14th through 18th. That means that Arizona and its 11 electoral votes will go in the likely Republican column on this map. Over in Texas, 40 electoral votes are at stake, the second most of any state behind California. Trump leads Biden by 6 points, according to the latest survey in the race conducted by YouGov in coordination with the University of Texas from December 1st to the 10th, and that means that Texas will go down as lean Republican. So, 3 states down, and all 3 go to Republicans. That trend will continue in Florida, where the latest poll from The Telegraph / Redfield and Wilton strategies between November 27th through 29th, it has Trump ahead by 12 points, based on responses from almost 900 likely voters. That is, of course, a very big margin for Trump, one that places it in safe Republican territory, continuing not only in our streak of 4 straight Republican states, but 4 straight different rating classifications. Nevada is tilt, Arizona likely, Texas lean, and Florida safe. Just to the north of Florida is Georgia, another not-so-good most recent poll for the Biden camp here. Trump leads by 8 points, or 7.8% to be exact, from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution in coordination with the University of Georgia between January 3rd and 11th. Just over 1,000 registered voters were sampled for this survey, where the Trump plus 8 top-line number places Georgia in the likely Republican column, joining Arizona. Chugging right along up the Atlantic coast, we have North Carolina. The Tar Heel state awards 16 electoral votes, one more than it did in 2020 following the census, and the latest poll here from Morning Consult has Trump leading by 9 points over Biden with a sample size of 704 registered voters, taken between November 27th and December 6th. North Carolina joins Georgia and Arizona as likely Republican in yet another bad poll for Biden and the Democratic Party. Alrighty, let's jump all the way up to the northeast to get both Maine and New Hampshire off the board. Starting in Maine, there is just one poll surveying the 2024 presidential race in the state, and it's from Digital Research, with a notably long gap in field dates between October 1st and November 30th. 614 adults were surveyed, and Biden leads Trump by only 1%, with 36% to 35%. 29% are undecided or backing another candidate according to this survey. Regardless, Maine's statewide contest will go down as tilt Democrat on this electoral map. But as for the more Republican-leaning 2nd Congressional District, though, which awards 1 electoral vote, that same survey from Digital Research found Trump leading Biden by 14 points, which means that the 2nd District in Maine goes down as safe Republican on the map. As for New Hampshire, historically the most competitive state in the Northeast, the latest poll in this contest has Biden leading Trump by 4.6%, rounded up to Biden plus 5. It's an Emerson College poll from mid-November, surveying 917 registered voters. New Hampshire will go in the lean Democrat column, so back-to-back Democratic states yield Democratic ratings. Transitioning over to the Rust Belt and Midwest region, the most recent poll from Pennsylvania is Biden plus 3 from Quinnipiac University. The poll was fielded between January 4th and 8th, so it is more recent than most other polls we have looked at, and its sample size of 1,680 registered voters is also larger than most. And with Biden leading Trump by 3 points, 49% to 46%, Pennsylvania will lean Democrat, the first really major battleground state to go in Biden's direction. Over in Ohio, the poll we'll be using here is from Big Data Poll / Buckeye Battleground. Haven't heard of them. It was surveyed between November 16th and 19th and has Trump leading Biden with 43.2% of support among the 1,352 registered voters in the survey to Biden's 29.6%. That is a 14-point margin in favor of the former Republican president, which means that Ohio is going to be safe Republican. In Iowa, meanwhile, it will also go down as safe Republican because the latest survey here from Zogby Strategies, fielded between January 2nd and 4th among 500 likely voters, has Trump ahead by 12 points. This may be extra bad news for Biden because polling in Iowa was actually extraordinarily accurate for the Republican caucuses, and a 12-point margin of victory for Trump would be a 4-point improvement for him in the state since 2020. That leaves us with Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan. We'll start in Minnesota, where the Minneapolis Post, along with Embold Research, found Biden leading Trump by 3% between November 14th and 17th of 2023, finding Biden at 45% support and Trump at 43% support among the sample size of 1,519 likely voters. Minnesota will accordingly fall into the lean Democrat column, keeping Biden in the race to 270 for now. With 2 states remaining, he's at 244 electoral votes to Trump's 268. With that said, the buck stops in Wisconsin, however, where the most recent poll from Morning Consult gives Trump a 4-point edge over Biden. This survey was taken between November 27th to December 6th. It's the same survey that found Trump ahead of Biden by 9 points in North Carolina, though the sample size here was slightly smaller at 681 registered Wisconians. Regardless, it will lean Republican, lifting Trump above the magic number to 278 electoral votes, with only Michigan remaining. The latest poll in Michigan comes from a pollster I have never heard of, Target Insight / Michigan Information and Research Service. It was taken between January 4th and 10th, surveying 800 registered voters, among which Biden garnered the support of 45% to Trump's 41%. That Biden plus 4 margin is good enough to place Michigan in the lean Democrat column, joining Pennsylvania in that regard. So that does it for this brief video, where we've created a 2024 presidential election map based on the latest polls in key states. Donald Trump would win in this scenario with 278 electoral votes to Joe Biden's 260. Notably, although Trump led by a wide margin in many polls in key battlegrounds, this electoral count would still be one of the closest in American history. And all it would take for this election result to flip to Biden in this hypothetical is if Wisconsin were to flip into his column. Suffice to say, you should expect this election cycle to be extremely competitive. Do make sure to subscribe to my channel down below though, and hit that notification bell for more videos like this in the future. Feel free to also let me know in the comment section what you think of this map, as well as any other videos you'd like to see in the future. Shout out to my channel members on screen here. Thank you so much for your support. If you would like to become a member, go ahead and click the join button below this video to receive exclusive perks. Be sure to check out electionpredictionsofficial.com for my latest 2024 presidential election forecast, completely data-driven. You can check out more content from my channel here, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. EP out.